Alrighty, it is time once again to record. Today I'm going to be talking about Rising of the Shield Hero. Now, recently I was browsing Crunchyroll and I saw that the 4th season of Rising of the Shield Hero is currently airing, and I would like to talk about it. Normally, when I go to record something, I rewatch the anime, as you might expect, but in this case, I have decided not to do that, because the thought of watching Rising of the Shield Hero again brings such a degree of pain to my innocent little soul that I might just die if I attempt to do so again. If I'm not willing to watch it again, why then am I talking about it? Surely whatever it is I'm going to be talking about is not that important. It's not. You know, you've many other things you could do with your time. So, you know... I don't know what to say also now. Okay. Anyway, the reason why I want to talk about Shield Hero is twofold. First, I want to see if anyone else shares my opinion, because perhaps I'm the crazy one here. It's quite possible. The second thing is because it's fun to talk about Shield Hero, and hopefully the video will make for an entertaining one. I have also gathered quite a bit of a reputation amongst my small, yet friendly group of friends for complaining about Shield Hero. But anyway, that is the intent with this video. As I have not watched Shield Hero recently, all of my thoughts about this shall be coming straight from my, let's say, less than reliable memory, so I will almost certainly get elements of this anime wrong. But I'm going to use that as a testament to whether it was any good, because if it was good, surely I would remember it, but that's not really much of an argument. Anyway, if that sounds interesting, feel free to stick around. If it doesn't, I hope you have a pleasant day. But without further ado, let's get started. Rising of the Shield Hero Season 1. I really like Season 1. I've seen it the most times. I've seen it a few times actually, and I really enjoyed it. It's got a very video game-like plot. Essentially, it's a fantasy world. Heroes are summoned to save a kingdom because there's some invasions that keep happening. Whenever the invasions happen, the heroes get transported to the location where the invasion's happening. They have to fight it off, they beat a boss, and the invasions go away for like a few months. It reminds me a lot of a video game like For the King. This is an obscure reference, but I'm going to say it anyway. If you've ever played For the King, I'm sure you'd agree, it's the most infuriating experience you quite possibly will ever have.
I can't compete! I just can't compete! Can you get the out of my thing?
There's just enough systems in the game to make you feel like you're in control, but any feeling of control is entirely illusory. There's just so much RNG that no planning matters. You can go in with like a really sophisticated plan and all of these notions, and the game just bends you over a barrel anyway. Back to Shield Hero. I really like Season 1. The story is novel enough for when it came out. It's an isekai, so they're done to death, as everybody and their mother knows. But Shield Hero has the twist where the protagonist is viewed as the bad guy. To a degree. Essentially, for whatever reason, the Shield Hero is looked down upon in the kingdom where he spawns. It has something to do with the fact that the old Shield Hero liked and worked with demi-humans who are like animal people, basically. Like, you know what I'm talking about. For whatever reason, they don't like him. They start calling him the Devil of the Shield. The Church of the Three Heroes gets involved. It's a big hubbub. The evil princess lady and the evil king accuse the Shield Hero of some nefarious actions, and
the Shield Hero forced his way into my room. He was stinking drunk. He grabbed me and pinned me down.
Huh? It was all a lie.
So he gets viewed as a bad guy, and it's good because you get this innocent little Naofumi who gets turned into this dark little Naofumi, and it's nice. It wasn't done to death at the time as well, and it's a lovely little tension builder. Every time the story feels like it's running out of steam, all they do is just toss another interaction with the red-haired princess lady in, and all of a sudden there's lots more tension and the story keeps going, because they can just make the situation worse every time by having his reputation get worse, and it's quite clever, and it wasn't done to death at the time. I really enjoyed it. The character development in Season 1 is also really good. I really like Raphtalia. Her character starts off as a kid. She's hired as a slave. Naofumi raises her because he needs someone to fight for him, because he can't fight for himself because he's a shield, not a sword or anything like that. And so you get this nice relationship that develops between them. For whatever reason, animal people seem to age according to their level, which is weird. Their relationship's clever. I like the little bit where the red princess lady tries to free Raphtalia from the slave curse, but Naofumi, she doesn't go anyway and gets it reinstituted. And it's all very nice. It's a nice little character bit. Philo's pretty good. She's nice. she's entertaining. The other thing is because there's only 3 people in the main sort of party, it doesn't quite feel like your male protagonist with his harem of ladies, which is not particularly good. I don't enjoy it that much, sue me. Because it's only the 3 of them, it feels a lot more natural, which is good. That sort of changes later on. First season sort of peaks around episode 17 or something. Whenever the conflict with him being viewed as evil stops, is when it stops being good. Essentially, the purple-haired princess, Melty, gets involved. Then the ratio in the party is sort of 1 dude to 3 women, and then it becomes a bit haremy. But it's still fine at that point. There's a satisfying conclusion to the whole nefarious reputation thing. The queen basically comes in and just stomps on the red-haired princess and the king. And it's cool, it's fun, it's nice. The problem is after that point, all the tension is sort of gone. There's this weird side plot where they go to an island to like power level, which feels really video gamey. There's another invasion. They meet a red-haired guy, a blue-haired lady, and a black-haired lady. There's some kerfuffle. It turns out there's more than one world. And for whatever reason, it seems to be the case that if one world loses to the invasions, the other worlds survive. So that seems to be the motivation for the other party of heroes to destroy Naofumi's world. It seems a little odd, but that's fine. That's first season, and I really liked the first season. I really, really did. I watched it through basically again when I had seen it the first time. I enjoyed it that much, and I can remember immediately adding the second season and the third season, which wasn't even, like, it was announced, I think, and I had an entry on my anime list. I added both of them to my plan to watch, and I was so excited for them. And I remember when season 2 came out, I was over the moon. And then I started watching it, and it's bad. It's just terrible. And it's not just bad, like Tokyo Ghoul is bad, like the later seasons. It's boring, it's dreary, dull, mundane, uninspired drivel. It's awful. It has none of the charm that the first season did. I can barely remember it. Okay, so what happens? There's some sort of time skip after season 1, which is fine. Nothing wrong with the time skip. But the problem with the time skip is there's lots of new characters introduced, and the relationships between them and Naofumi are not explored. Normally, after a time skip, you'd sort of have like a cooldown period where you'd detail out those character arcs and you explore who those characters are and the relationships, and that would all be fine, but they don't do that. Instead, they just go straight into a giant turtle is rampaging around the world, destroying stuff.
What?
And so they all go off to fight this turtle, and I don't care about most of them. One of the main strengths of season 1 was their development of relationships between characters, and they just don't have any of that in season 2. The big turtle he looks terrible. It's a CGI turtle. It looks awful. The characters look awful. Again, the tension's not there. Naofumi's still dark, but he's lost his sort of edge. It was never that much of an edge, but that little bit of edge was good. It added a little bit of flair to his character. I think the plan with the turtle is somebody let the turtle loose. And the idea is that the turtle, whilst the turtle is going around rampaging, the invasions don't happen. So by letting the turtle rampage, the world doesn't end, but you have to deal with a giant rampaging turtle that's basically unkillable. Unless you destroy its heart or something, who happens to be a woman, which is weird. They decide to destroy the turtle, which is probably a good idea. And so they do that. It's just not very entertaining. I mean, the red-haired guy, the blue-haired girl, and the black-haired girl join again. That's cool. Some nice characters from the first season. That's fun. But they just go to this turtle, explore the inside of it, and fight a weird wizard man with a book. The whole time, the green-haired lady, who is from the first season, I can't remember her name. I didn't like her then. I don't like her now. Why is she wearing a chicken suit the whole time? I vaguely remember that it has something to do with her powers, like it makes her be able to control them better or something like that, but why? How am I supposed to take your show seriously when you've got a chicken person standing behind you? Can you imagine watching some dramatic scene between two people? Like the bad guy is giving his monologue, explaining how he's going to take over the world or destroy millions of people with this giant turtle. And there's just this chicken lady standing right next to the superhero man. How am I supposed to take that seriously? They defeat the big bad guy in like episode 6 or something. And then they go into a portal, which isekais them to another world.
Farewell.
So Truck-kun had nothing to do with it, which is unfortunate, because I always give more points if Truck-kun's involved. But anyway, so they isekai to another world, and they revert back to level 0.
My level. It
drop back down to 1.
Which means you are essentially watching season 1 again, except there's no tension this time. Raphtalia goes back to being a kid, but I don't want to see that again. I already watched that. So at that point, I jumped off the bus. I was so disappointed. I couldn't go on. I just couldn't. I tried to rewatch it again, probably a year ago at this point, and apparently, according to Crunchyroll, I watched all of season 2 and 4 episodes of season 3. I could tell you nothing about after the turtle bit, other than the fact that I remember Raphtalia gets a sword, Philo gets captured, and Naofumi gets angry, and there's a weird penguin thing. And that's about it. That's all I remember. I can't remember anything else. It's just dull. I don't know what to tell you. The reason I'm making this video is, does anybody else agree with this? Am I wrong? It's quite possible. Anybody who's seen the show after season 2, say, does it get better? I really hope it does. The thought of watching it again brings me such pain. It's like the new Star Wars films. I'm sure some of you disagree, but most of you, I think, would agree with me that new sequels suck. I mean, they were really, really bad. And they kind of ruined the rest of them for me. I mean, I know people can say that, well, they're their own thing and they can have their own, they can live in their own little universe. But it'd be like being in a relationship. Imagine your wife or your girlfriend or something, or your boyfriend or whatever, was cheating on you and you found out. Would the last 6 months of your life or 2 years of your life spent with them still be that lovely time that you spent with your significant other? No, of course not. It would become, well, that cheating was cheating on me for like 2 years. What a horrible person. It ruins it. It feels like that. Season 2 feels like that. It feels like I've been cheated on by Rising of the Shield Hero, and it sucks. Again, for those of you who are up to date, does it get better? I mean, do you agree with what I'm saying? Does any of this make sense? To those of you who haven't, I doubt this video has inspired much desire to go and watch Rising of the Shield Hero Season 2, so I apologize for that. I'm gonna leave it there. It really hurts. It really does. I hope you enjoyed the video. Hope it was entertaining. I ad-libbed the whole video. I didn't write a script this time, which is probably worse for the pacing and coherence. If anybody thinks it sounds better, I think it's probably better. I think what I might try and do in future is ad-lib my script. So I'll write a bit of a script, try and get my thoughts down on paper, and then ad-lib from there, because I think it sounds better. I think it flows better. It's a little funnier, a little bit more natural. So let me know what you think. Leave a comment, leave a like. Let me know what you think of Rising of the Shield Hero. Let me know what you think of the videos. And I suppose I'll see you next time, whenever next time is. Goodbye.